Speed, grace, glory. For decades, these were the words that defined a generation of NASCAR racers. But one name stood out, not just for victories, but for resilience, personality, and a life lived at full throttle. This is the story of Greg Biffle, a man who conquered speed on four wheels and faced life's greatest challenges off the track, and ultimately, whose life and the lives of his loved ones were extinguished in a moment of tragedy. On December 18, 2025, a private jet crashed at Statesville Regional Airport in North Carolina, killing all on board, including a racing legend, his wife, and their children. Tonight, we explore the life, the legacy, and the unanswered questions behind that day. On December 18, 2025, at approximately 10:15 a.m. local time, a private Cessna 550 Citation business jet registered to GB Aviation Leasing LLC, a company tied to Greg Biffle, was involved in a catastrophic crash while attempting to land at Statesville Regional Airport in North Carolina. The aircraft had taken off earlier that morning, bound for Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport in Florida. But shortly after departure, it turned back towards Statesville. Flight data suggests the plane failed to climb above 2,000 feet before returning, a signal that something was wrong. Moments later, the jet crashed near the east end of the runway while attempting to land, resulting in a devastating fireball and total loss of the aircraft. All 7 people on board were killed. Among the victims were Greg Biffle, his wife, Christina, and their 2 children, Emma and Ryder, along with 3 close friends, Dennis Dutton, his son Jack, and Craig Wadsworth. The racing world and the families released a joint statement expressing unbearable heartbreak. In the wake of the tragedy, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, launched a joint investigation. Early reports confirmed the crash was sudden and involved a fiery impact, but the cause remains under investigation. Witnesses described the aircraft flying unusually low before impact, compounded by cloudy, drizzly conditions on that morning, factors that may become key focal points for investigators. Officials have not yet released flight recorder data or concluded findings, but aviation experts suggest scenarios from mechanical failure to sudden weather complications that could have forced the aircraft's abrupt return and failed landing attempt. The aircraft departed Statesville Regional Airport around 10:06 a.m. and climbed to a low altitude, did not exceed approximately 2,000 to 4,000 feet. It turned back toward the airport only minutes after takeoff, indicating a possible issue soon after departure. Flight data shows the last tracked position was very close to the airport, near the runway approach. The aircraft crashed near the east side of the runway, bursting into flames on impact. Emergency crews responded quickly, and the airport remains closed while debris is cleared, and investigators from the FAA and NTSB work on analyzing the wreckage. The aircraft involved in the crash was a Cessna 550 Citation II, registered N257BW, and owned by GB Aviation Leasing LLC, a company linked to Greg Biffle. This style of plane, the Cessna 550 Citation II, is a light business jet widely used for private and corporate travel. It features rear-mounted engines and a straight wing, making it easy to fly and capable of operating from smaller airports like Statesville. The model pictured is very similar in design to the Cessna 550 Citation II that crashed at Statesville. These jets typically carry 6 to 7 passengers plus crew and are known for a sleek, compact fuselage and twin rear-mounted engines, features common to the Citation family. Gregory Jack Biffle was born on December 23, 1969, in Vancouver, Washington, far from the high stakes of professional racing. He was the son of Garland Jack Biffle II and Sally Fry, and grew up surrounded by everyday life and the persistent lure of speed. In the early 1990s, Greg's racing journey began not with fame or fanfare, but at grassroots races across the Pacific Northwest, short tracks,
local circuits, places where passion outweighed prize money and determination drove dreams. Those early days forged something essential: grit. By 1996, Biffle had his first NASCAR Busch Series start, and 2 years later, in 1998, he entered the Craftsman Truck Series. It was there he first tasted national recognition, earning Rookie of the Year honors. But Greg wasn't just competent, he was relentless. In 2000, Biffle's breakthrough came, winning the Truck Series championship. He'd turned heads, and that was only the beginning. The following year, in 2001, he transitioned to the Busch Series, earning Rookie of the Year once again, then capturing the Busch Series championship in 2002. These achievements placed Greg among a rare group of drivers who'd conquered 2 major NASCAR divisions. By 2003, Biffle had ascended to NASCAR's top tier, the Cup Series, piloting the iconic number 16 Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. Over the next decade, he became a fixture of NASCAR's mainstream culture, a driver feared on the track and respected in the pits. In 2005, one of his greatest seasons unfolded. Biffle notched 6 race wins and finished second in the championship standings, a career best. His consistency and competitive fire made him one of the sport's standouts. Over his Cup Series career, Biffle earned 19 wins, and across NASCAR's top national circuits, including Xfinity and Trucks, his tally surpassed 50 victories. These feats placed Greg among the elite drivers of his era and solidified his status as one of racing's greats. But racing success wasn't always smooth. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, as NASCAR's competition intensified, Biffle navigated ups and downs, team changes, performance fluctuations, and the pressure that comes with being a top competitor in America's most watched motorsport. By 2016, after more than a decade at the sport's elite level, Biffle and Roush parted ways. His tenure had been legendary, but life beyond the Cup Series was calling. Behind the helmet was a man deeply devoted to his family. In 2007, Greg married Nicole Lunders, and in 2011, they welcomed their daughter, Emma Elizabeth, a bright, curious child who often appeared at races and family events. Though Greg and Nicole separated in 2015 and later divorced, Greg remained a loving father. His world revolved around his children, and when his life took another turn of joy, it would be through love again. In January 2023, Greg married Christina Grossu, and the couple welcomed rider Jack Biffle in September 2020. Together, they built a life of shared dreams between speed, adventure, and family moments captured across social media and private life. By 2025, Greg Biffle's life was a blend of racing lore and familial love, a father, husband, mentor, and friend. Success on the track translated into success in life. By 2025, Greg Biffle's estimated net worth was around $30 million, earned through race winnings, sponsorships, endorsements, and strategic business ventures. Beyond racing, Greg invested in business interests like speedways and aviation ventures, including the business entity GB Aviation Leasing, LLC, linked to the aircraft involved in the tragic crash. No life, especially one lived in public view, is free of controversy. Throughout his career, Biffle faced moments of debate, from on-track decisions to off-track matters. In earlier years, legal disputes and personal matters made headlines, and in 2025, his social media posts with political figures sparked conversations among fans and critics alike. But for those who knew him, these moments were facets of a complex life, not its definition. The tragic loss of Greg Biffle and his family sent shockwaves through motorsports and beyond. Tributes poured in from fellow drivers, racing personalities, and public figures. NASCAR issued statements mourning the passing of a beloved icon whose impact stretched far beyond statistics and podiums. Friend and racing enthusiast Garrett Cletus McFarland shared on social media that the Biffles were on their way to spend time with family in Florida, a reminder of how ordinary and human that day had started, just before extraordinary tragedy struck. Greg Biffle's life was not defined by one crash, but by decades of speed, dedication, and connection. From humble beginnings to racing legend, From loving father to community figure, his story evokes passion, resilience, triumph, and sorrow. Today, we remember Greg Biffle not just for his victories on the track, but for the human behind the helmet, the laughter, the family ties, the battles fought and won, and the legacy that will continue long after this tragic day.